my channel. If you're new here, my name is Danny, and this is Coffee Break with Danny. And these are my jazz hands. Today we're here with a Get Ready With Me. It's been a while since we've done one, let's be honest. I haven't actually worn this much makeup since yesterday. You thought I was gonna say longer, didn't you? Well, I haven't. I wore a full face of makeup yesterday. I'm talking everything. From 2 kinds of primer, to concealer, to powder, to mascara. Sounds like I'm dancing about my makeup. And it felt nice. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it again today in my $4 Hanes t-shirt from Walmart. Listen, it was a sale and it was like you get 12 for $8 and I really liked it. And it's from the men's department. So if you guys wanna match with me, these are the men's crew neck from Hanes that I got at Walmart. So I really got nothing for you guys today, except that we're getting ready together. We're using the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. Can someone please tell me why it's called Naked when it's purple? I always thought Naked was like a play on neutrals. Like it's a neutral palette, so it's a naked palette. You know what I mean? Like, but now it's purple, and then there's like the Naked Heat, and I kind of played it off a little. I was like, okay, Naked Heat because it's like earth tones. Fire tones. No, this is purple. These are the shades that I look like when I'm not tan and I'm cold. So today we are doing a Get Ready With Me using the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. I refuse to call it Naked. You're probably wondering what's on my lips. You probably want a link to this amazing high quality undershirt. All of that stuff that I talk about or that I'm wearing is going to be listed and linked in the description box of this video. So if you guys want to see how I got ready and you want to hear me talk about 90 Day Fiancé and this life hack that I'm trying, then all you have to do is keep on watching. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. I brushed my hair just for you. Just kidding. No, I did not. We're gonna get started. We're gonna do a Get Ready With Me. I have no idea what we're going to discuss. I do have an idea of the products I would like to use. And that's all I got for you guys. I wore all the makeup yesterday, and I think the last time I did that was a while ago. I have been doing my makeup despite not going out. Hello, welcome Jingle Bell. Can you hear him? The devil just walked in the room. And you know that because you hear his little bell. I have been wearing makeup when I go out. We have had several appointments and things that we need to go to, and we're not going out that often, but when I do wear makeup, but I'm not wearing like legit makeup. You know what I mean? Like I spot conceal, I do tinted brow gel, mascara, highlight, tons of highlighter, lip gloss, cream blush, and an email. Am I prepared today or what? Yeah, I've been doing very light, glowy makeup. The makeup that kind of melts off your face in a couple hours, doesn't really last very long, but just kind of emphasize your natural features and look a little put together, but not a full face. Dallas has been like 95 to 105. Like we've had heat advisory for the last couple of weeks. So it's been pretty gnarly, and the last thing you wanna do is put on tons of cake, right? Eat cake rather. And so yesterday was the first day that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go the full enchilada, and I kind of liked it. So we're gonna do it again today. And we used the Urban Decay Naked, Ultraviolet Naked. I don't know why it's a naked palette because it's purple, but that's, doesn't really matter, does it? It's just the name. You know, I've proposed this new thing, this new mental trick or hack for myself. Like I'm experimenting with it, see if I'm able to keep up with it, because I think it may be the key to living a more peaceful life and maybe not aging as quickly. I'm actually going in, I didn't even tell you what I'm using because that's how amazingly prepared I am for this video. I went in with the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and then I just put some foundation on my Beauty Blender, the Osmosis Performance Wear Satin Foundation. I love this foundation, you guys. I'm bummed because I can only use it when I'm tan since I don't have a lighter shade. I'm using my Simple Human Mirror. You guys have asked me about it before, and the question I get the most about it is it worth the price tag? I want to say yes and no. I guess it really depends. If you get it at Bed Bath & Beyond with a 20% coupon, then yes, I think it's worth it because it's $200. If you don't, if you pay full price, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's one of those things that requires maintenance and eventually it breaks. It's one of those things that just eventually breaks. It stops holding its charge. The mirror starts to slide down, like the locking mechanism doesn't lock anymore. So it's just one of those things where if you're actually going to use it as a labor horse, like to do your makeup every single day or to do your facial treatments or your skincare, stuff like that, it's not going to last very long. However, it does have a very good warranty or like return policy or whatever. So if you contact Simple Human directly, you can get a replacement or have it fixed, depending on what's wrong with it. But if you get it at Bed Bath & Beyond, they have an amazing return policy. They're kind of like Nordstrom, where it doesn't matter if you don't have the packaging, it doesn't matter when you bought it, it doesn't matter if you have the receipt or not. As long as they can verify that you actually bought it there, they'll give you a new one, which is really nice. I don't know if I want to put on any more. There are a couple of spots on my face that I'd love to conceal. I'm like super broken out. You know why, you guys? Because I've been eating like crap. And my body's like, yeah, you want to keep treating us that way? Here you go. You're welcome. Have some zits. Have some zits, you 13-year-old. That's okay. You know what? It's worth it because those Zinger cakes are delicious. Do you guys go through phases of like snacking? So right now I'm in a Cheetos phase. Cheeto Puffs. They must be Cheeto Puffs. Cheeto Puffs phase. Before that, it was... before the Cheeto Puffs, what was it? Sunflower seeds. And before sunflower seeds, it was Zingers, chocolate and vanilla, not just one flavor, both the flavors, all the flavors. I couldn't find the red ones, the red and coconut ones. Oh, those are delicious. There used to be a Overstock outlet Hostess bakery shop by the house where I grew up. Actually, well, where my parents still live, actually. So basically, Hostess had a, I guess a manufacturing plant or like a warehouse around there, and anything that was overstock or was about to expire, they took to this store, and you got in line, and it was one of those stores where there's only one way in and it was a maze and then one way out. And so my mom would let each of us grab a basket because I think they were 5 for $1. Again, they were about to expire, if not already expired. It was something super sketchy, but we got to fill our basket, and I would always get the pound cake, the Zingers, or the snowballs. Those were my favorite. That's all I cared about. That's all I wanted. What was I getting at? Oh, that's why. Let's come full circle. Let's bring it in. Bring it in, Danny. That's why I'm broken out, because I am home and I'm anxious and I'm stressed and I'm bored and I'm sad and I'm mad and I'm happy. There's literally no valid excuse why I snack so much. It's because of yes. So don't let me feel alone in this world. And are you like me where it's always snack o'clock? Look, if I'm stressed, I eat. If I'm happy, I eat. If I'm sad, I eat. If I'm excited, I eat. It's just one of those things that I like to do, and I go through phases. So I'd like for you to do me a big favor and leave in the comment section below, what snack phase are you going through right now? Because for me, it's Cheeto Puffs. Anyway, so I was telling you guys, I didn't tell you what concealer I used. This is Tarte Creaseless Concealer. This is fantastic for those of you with mature, wise skin, or if you have really dry skin. It is very pigmented, but it is very emollient. It's almost too creamy. It's almost a little sticky, but if you have dryness under your eyes because wisdom has come to you, then it's a concealer you're really gonna like. It replaced Shape Tape for me in a jiffy because apparently I turned 35 and my body was like, you can't use that anymore. So blending this out with my beauty blender. This is that beauty blender that changes color, although I think I broke it because it doesn't change color anymore. Is that possible? I think I broke my beauty blender because it doesn't change color. But anyway, you know what? I break most things in life. It's just what I do. My mom calls me manos de hilacha, whatever. Just basically twine arms because I drop everything. So what I was telling you is I discovered this new life hack, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work yet. I'm just trying it out, but it's basically the idea of if it's not something that directly affects you, to not even have an opinion about it. So generally speaking, like we watch, I don't know, someone on YouTube, or you see someone at the store, and you automatically, like your brain triggers you to automatically think something about whatever you're witnessing, whatever you're seeing. And I came up with this because I grew up with like my mom, and my mom was very quick to point out stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this conversation not interesting to you? Do you want to switch it up to something else? Do you guys hear him like sighing back there like, ¿qué quieres? ¿Te quieres subir aquí? Vente pues. Mami está trabajando, tú siéntate aquí con mami y mami va a trabajar y tú te quedas calladito, ¿ok? Nada de ruido. Well, papá me está ocupada. Sí, nada de ruido. Sorry if my light is too bright, but since I'm 35 now and I need to use old lady concealer, I need to have the bright light to be able to see. So, what was I telling you? Oh, okay, so I grew up, and it was very common to just say what you're thinking, right? Like what you're observing, whether it's someone in an outfit that doesn't match or you don't like, or it's a little kid that's barefoot at a Walmart or whatever. You know, it had the tendency to be negative, to point out negative stuff. And to me, it seemed almost normal. It was like a normal thing to do. I don't really do it that much, but I do catch myself doing it. And I don't like it because I come full circle with this whole realization of, what does that have anything to do with me? Whether it's the way someone's dressed, the way someone speaks, the way someone behaves. Now, if I see something, like for example, something that really annoys me is when people drop their trash on the floor. In a parking lot, out of a window or whatever. If someone is, I don't know, like outwardly rude, I think that's rude. That really bothers me, and probably can't keep my mouth shut because I'm a Sagittarius. Did you literally just fart in my lap? Because that was very rude. And that does affect me because you're literally sitting above my face. I'm gonna need you to go down. Y'all, it's gonna take me like 7 hours to get through an entire story and just get ready with me with all the freaking distractions from the cicadas outside. Is that how you say it? Cicadas? To Mern barking, to the double farting in my lap. Anyway, so I don't like when I see people being rude like that and just dropping trash. But like if I see something that I don't agree with or don't approve of, my new thing is, if it doesn't affect me in any way, don't even think about it, you know? And it's not necessarily the don't say anything about it, it's the don't even give it the energy. Because if you think about it, hear me out on this, you guys, there's gonna be a conclusion to this whole, if you think about it, by the time you are, I don't know, halfway through your Walmart trip or your Target trip, and you've already noticed, you know, little Susie wasn't wearing shoes, that was with her mom, and little Freddie was freaking out and crying because, you know, he wanted the toy. And so you've already judged or given all of these strangers all this real estate in your mind. You probably already forgot that you needed to get some foil or diapers or paper towels. And really, to what benefit? Like, to what benefit? To what benefit are these strangers occupying any space in your mind? And to what expense? The expense of maybe forgetting something, the expense of having or feeling something negative or yucky. So there's really no benefit, perk, or advantage to be having these thoughts about a complete stranger. Now, the same way that I'm telling you this, I'm also going to tell you this. If I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé, you better believe that for those entire 90 minutes or 120 minutes, I'm going to be criticizing every single person on that show. Because that's why they're on that show, okay, Colty? So, yeah, I realized how much time I invest in having an opinion or an observation of someone that I'm probably never going to see again. And like I said, I grew up where it was predominantly negative. But for me, I noticed that I'm like, oh, that girl's pretty. Oh, look at her shoes. Oh, I like her hair. Oh, that baby's so cute. Oh my God, a dog. And so my brain is going 1,000 miles per hour, occupied by all of these factors that have nothing to do with my life, that impact me in no way, that benefit me in no way, that harm me probably in no way either, unless it's a negative thought and that's just toxic. But I'm like wasting all this time when I could be using it well suited or more or better for something else. Does that make sense? So I'm like, if you go out, just take a couple of minutes and notice where your brain goes automatically into this, it automatically goes into this zone of observing and judging. And it doesn't have to be negative. And I want to keep saying that because this isn't something where like you're a toxic person and you're negative and you need to destroy those negative thoughts. No, it doesn't have to be negative, but you literally as a human go somewhere and your mind doesn't stop and you're creating judgment, criticism, or opinion on everything that you're observing. And genuinely speaking, you don't know who these people are. You don't know why their baby doesn't have shoes at Walmart. You don't know why, her leggings are inside out. This is all stuff that I've actually seen for myself. You don't know why her leggings are inside out. You don't know why their shopping cart has 6, gallons of milk. And it's like, if I could, oh, I'm sorry. Wesley's in between my toes and my eyebrows are super crooked. Holy mackerel. You know what? Let me focus on this. Give me 1 second. All right. I did the best I could to salvage my brows and to make them look at least like step cousins, They're not even half sisters at this point. They're step cousins. So they're almost auntie-related. As far apart from related as they could be is what my eyebrows are at this moment. So you're welcome for this free entertainment of lopsidedness, this disparity in intensity, and lack of symmetry. You're welcome. This is what we're here for. I use the e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. I think it's $2 at Ulta, and the Essence Brow Gel. I love these two. They're two of my favorites. When I'm doing full-on brows, they're the two products that I reach for. So yeah, it's like we spend so much time observing stuff, and then it's not necessarily just the observation. It's taking the observation and then creating an opinion. Taking that observation, creating judgment. Taking that observation, being critical. It's taking that observation and going somewhere with it. It's the act of going somewhere with it that is using our feelings, it's using our energy, it's potentially turning into a negative thought or a judgmental thought, which is never good. And I was like, you know what we should be observing? And again, I can only speak for myself, what I've noticed, what I've done. Like notice the person in front of you at the supermarket that their bill was $12 and their card didn't get accepted. Observe that and then do something about it. Offer to pay. I've done that before. Or, I don't know, someone behind you in the drive-through lane that's crying. I was in a drive-through once and the female behind me was crying and I could see a car seat in the back. I didn't see a baby in it. I didn't look for a baby in it. All I knew is she was crying. So my mind went to, she's probably had a rough day. She got bad news or her baby's in the backseat crying and she just can't take it anymore. So I paid for her meal. It's stuff like that. Like if you're gonna go that extra step of creating judgment, make the effort of doing something positive with it. When you see a mom with a stroller and she has to open the store door, run up ahead and open the door. I think those are healthy observations, but taking that observation and then creating judgment, criticism, an opinion, again, whether it's good or bad, you're expending, I think that's a word, your energy. Like you're using your energy to do that where it could be better suited in other ways. So it's something that I've been trying and I feel a lot lighter, a lot airier. We are gonna go in with Urban Decay's Ultraviolet palette. You guys, I have my thoughts on this palette and it's like, kind of like when someone says, hey, do you want pizza? And you say yes, because pizza is one of those foods that no matter where it comes from, even if it's bad, it's good. I feel like that's the same scenario with Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. Even when they're bad, they're good. So this one has not blown my socks off. It hasn't been like, wow, this palette needed to happen. But I'm like, every time I use it, I'm happy with the results, but I'm never blown away. It's just one of those things where I'm like, man, I think I've had really good pizza once or twice in my life. I mean, where it's worth talking about. But every other time besides that, it's been just good enough. And that's kind of how I feel about this palette. I'm like, okay, Urban Decay's original Naked palette, that got discontinued. That one was delicious pizza worth talking about. Every other Naked palette, maybe the Naked Heat is worth talking about, but every other Naked palette, I'm like, it's pizza, you know? It's aight. So I went in with Trippin', the very first color that's on my brow bone. I'm not bringing you guys in. You guys, it's a get ready with me. I'm not teaching you how to do anything because I barely know what I'm doing myself. Then I'm gonna go in with a fluffy blending brush and the color Mind Slip. Or should I do Hacked? Let's do Hacked. I'm gonna do Hacked, the darker one. It's like a mauvey brown. There's only 2, maybe 3 matte shades in this palette. Again, it's one of those palettes where I'm like, I could have lived the rest of my life without a purple palette like this one, but it's good enough and I like it. And every time I do a look, it all, you know what I do observe from this palette is the colors play really nice together. Not the color combo, but the actual formulation. For some reason, the colors just kind of blend together. They just all get creamy and friendly with each other. Holy goodness, what's with all this eyeshadow in here? Do you see that? Looks like a bruise. Hacked, probably not my favorite color. And so that's gonna be our transition shade. You guys, let's talk about serious matters here. And this is a conversation for those of you parents that have kids in school. So about a month ago, we got an email from our local school district that said that by July 10th, we needed to decide as parents whether we wanted to enroll our children in virtual academy or face-to-face education. So online only or in person only. Now, again, opinions aside, judgment aside, criticism aside, this isn't something that affects you. This is about my children. But if it's about your children, then of course you have an opinion. So it's hard because there's no right answer. In fact, all the answers are wrong. If you were to summarize the current situation of what we're living in, all of the options are wrong. All of the answers are wrong. There is no right answer. Now I'm gonna go in with, let's do Cyberpunk, this color here. So none of the answers are right. I know that's a very big statement, but I'm sticking to it. All of the answers are wrong. If you do virtual academy, 100% online classes, it's wrong. If you're doing in-person, it's wrong. If you're doing half and half, it's wrong. If you're doing part-time, it's wrong. If you're doing face-to-face, it's wrong because you're exposing children, teachers, staff members, cafeteria workers, custodians, whatever. If you're doing virtual academy, it's bad because who's gonna watch your kids when you go to work? I'm sorry, who's gonna pay for the mortgage? How are you gonna get your work done? Where are you gonna leave your kids? Who's gonna socialize these children? How are they building their immunity? And I'm not talking about COVID, I'm talking about general immunity on like the flu and colds and stuff like that. How are you gonna build their immunity if they're not being exposed and they're not seeing their peers and they're not learning to cope and to deal with stress of school and just general day-to-day things? There is literally no correct answer. There is no right answer. Bless you guys if you have teenagers, because they'll get an email from their teacher and they know what they're supposed to do. But what about me? I work from home. I have shared custody with my co-parent. So sometimes they're here, sometimes they're there. We have 2 kids that cannot read an email from a teacher, cannot sit themselves still, cannot submit their own work on their own. They need to be taught. You need to be sitting there the 8 hours with them and teaching them yourself. When am I going to work? And how am I supposed to be parallel teaching with their dad? How are we on the same page? How are we going to communicate? All of this extra confusion, you know, but then again, how are we keeping our teacher safe? How are we keeping the other children safe? How are we keeping the family members that are at home and are high risk? How are we keeping them safe from the children that we are sending to school? There's no right answer. It is so stressful, you know, and it's stressful for me in the financial aspect because I can't work. I haven't been able to work steadily since March because my son is hyperactive and he has a problem focusing, you know, paying attention, staying focused. And my 5-year-old has never done real school. He did Montessori, but he's never done real school. So he doesn't know the concept. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. So how are we going to figure this out? Just going to use our finger in the color Purple Dust. And we're going to apply that on the lid. Let's pretend that it wasn't a complete fail with the brush. It's kind of a little bit of a fail with my finger as well, but let's just... You know what? It's the year 2020. If you're not disappointed by your eyeshadow as well, like, is your eyeshadow even keeping up to date with the year? It's just... You know, it's just one of those things. I took the Duppo to his follow-up vet appointment today, and the front desk girl is so sweet. I told you guys about her in a vlog. She's the one that gave me 2 Vetselin vials for Wesley so I wouldn't have to go in so often. And she's like, how is everybody? I was like, shh, don't jinx it. Everything has been good for like a week. Don't jinx it. It's only a matter of time before something happens. But man, this year has run the gamut on bull. Let me tell you, oh my gosh, the Duppo had his dental prophylaxis about a week and a half ago, and they had to pull 3 teeth. It's just, you know, at this point, I didn't think I would get to the point where I just laugh, but what else can we do? Literally, what else is there to do at this point? It's just all incredulous, you know, like you just can't believe this is 2020. But you know what? This is 2020. And if you can't laugh at it, what else are we supposed to do? Cry? Maybe sometimes. All right, so I'm just gonna finish blending out my lid because it's a little splotchy, but I think this is as good as it's gonna get. This is called 2020 eyeshadow, doing the best you can with your pizza palette. Do you see how it blended off the dark purple? Do you see the disparity now? When I blended this, it flaked off this. So it's just, it is what it is. I've hated that phrase my entire life. Sam always teases me because she loves that phrase. It is what it is. And I've always thought it's such a stupid cop-out phrase. It's so dismissive, and it's so defeatist, you know, like it is what it is, but it really is. It is what it is. It's 2020. Let's just deal. Let's just deal, you guys. It is what it is, okay? That's all I got for you. My camera's overheating, so I'm gonna let it cool down for a minute, and then we'll jump back on and do the rest of this 2020 eyeshadow look. I know you guys are probably blown away by the current state of my eyelashes. And by eyelashes, I mean just this one eye. But you're just gonna pretend like both eyes have mascara right now because I need to do this footage in a little while for another video that I'm doing for you guys, which you're gonna wanna run out and buy immediately. So moving on, did we finish talking about COVID? I mean, do you ever finish talking about COVID? Probably not, huh? But yeah, we made the decision that we wanted to, for our children, what we thought was appropriate, what we thought was good, what we felt comfortable and safe with. But it's only a matter of time before the state changes their mind and throws us for another loop. So we're just kind of waiting on bated breath, like we have been since March, to figure out all of this mess and what it means and what the implications are for each of our families, you know? And we're also dealing with 2 different school districts. My boys, they go to the same school district as my co-parent's fiance's daughter. So that's a little less stressful, you know, because the kids are in the same district. Barker's daughters go to a different district. So we have 2 districts that we're kind of like monitoring like hawks to see what they decide to do. But ultimately it becomes a statewide decision. So I am a little nervous on what it's going to mean and what our options are for stay-at-home parents. It's crazy because when you think about it, like parents that have to leave and go to work are probably thinking that my scenario is BS. I'm like, what am I complaining about? You stay at home. It's not like you have to leave your kids home alone or find a sitter or a nanny or something. Like, why are you complaining? But my concern is, I'm like, well, I have to be able to work and I can't do that at home when the kids are here, you know, because this job right here that you're seeing, it's not just sitting down and hitting record and wanting the house to be quiet. It's sitting down, hitting record, it's conference calls, it's reviewing contracts, it's writing contracts, it's reading, signing contracts, it's answering emails. And so editing, oh my gosh, I can't tell you, every single time you've seen one of my videos that has an error in it, it's because I tried to work when the boys were around. Mom, can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Mom, can I have a snack? Mom, can I have a snack? My son even goes, Mom. I'm like, what? He's like, hi. They're adorable. They're the best. And I love them. And I love having them here. And summer has been great having them here and spending all this time together. But it's always with the thought of they're going back to school soon, thankfully, God bless teachers, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. So I don't know, you guys. I feel like everyone should just, can you get corona twice? That's a fun fact. Can you get corona twice? Like, I feel like news comes out about it, but then it gets dispelled and then it comes out again and then it gets dispelled again. So God knows what's right anymore at this point. Okay, we actually went in with this, surprise, surprise, from Charlotte Tilbury. And now we're gonna go in with Benefits Rockateur, which is not cruelty-free, but I'm trying to get, you know, not get rid of it. I'm trying to use it up. This is my favorite blush ever. And it's kind of sad that I can't use it anymore, but because I still have it, I want to use it up. I cry a little bit. I cry a little Caesar tear every time I use it. If you don't know what I'm referencing, it's because you don't watch 90 Day Fiancé. Do you guys remember Caesar? Caesar was this guy. He's this black guy that's in love with this girl that lives in Ukraine. Maria from the Ukraine. And this girl only asks him for money. And they've set up to meet or whatever a couple times and it never actually happens. She stands him up in Cancun and stands him up and anyway, this was a couple of seasons ago. And so when they're interviewing him, every time he's talking about Maria, he has like one little glistening tear that just kind of gets stuck on his cheekbone. So every time I use Rockateur, it's just that one little tear of, you know, can't use you anymore, lover. And I'm already hitting pan, so it's not going to be a good day for me when that happens. Speaking of 90 Day Fiancé, have you guys been watching it? Y'all, I have my thoughts. I know this show is fake. I know it's produced. I know it's one of those shows where it's like kind of real, but kind of fake. I know they get, I know they get produced. I know they get set up in situations where there's no other way than to come out of it really awful. To be put in a really bad situation. I know that's what happens. I watch it for sheer, ridiculous, stupid entertainment. But This season, I'm so annoyed because the couple with Kalani and Asuelu, like, first of all, what's wrong with Asuelu? Is he 12? Like, did she steal him from the care of his mama? Because he acts like a child. There was an episode where Kalani has to take both boys out of the car, and they're both in car seat age. One's still in a baby carrier, and the other one's like maybe 2. This guy just got picked up from his part-time job handing out samples at a grocery store. He goes ahead, and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna open the door for her. No, he goes up ahead, goes inside, and she's holding 2 babies and still manages to open the door and get inside the house. That's the kind of guy this person is. Anyway, that really pisses me off. The other couple that really pisses me off is Andre and Elizabeth. Lip liner in love from KK Beauty. Elizabeth and Andre. Andre's a total tool. Like, he's this macho, misogynistic, stupid guy. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like how he's with Elizabeth. But I did get this new side of Elizabeth that I hadn't noticed before in this most recent episode, you guys. So, Elizabeth's family, from what it looks like, has a comfortable means. And so her dad, she's American, Andre is from Moldova. Moldova. From the looks of it, Elizabeth's family helps Andre a lot because he doesn't work. He's a stay-at-home dad. I don't know if it's with immigration or just because he's lazy or whatever, but he doesn't work. And Elizabeth works for her dad. And he has all these requests about how Elizabeth's family should pay for this and they should pay for that and they should do this and they should cover that. And I already don't like him. I don't need to explain to you guys why I don't like him. You'll see him for 2 minutes and you won't like him either. However, this episode, they're planning their wedding in Moldova, and Elizabeth is pouting and scrunching her nose and making faces at venues and menus of Moldovan menus and venues for where they can have their wedding. And she's pouting and doing this and that, and she's like, well, I don't know if my family's gonna like it. We're American, like we don't eat rabbit or whatever. And here's the thing, I get it because your dad is paying for it, but at the same time, you're going to another country to have your wedding, so you need to assimilate, you know? I can only speak from experience, and I always date out of my culture or what I grew up with. And my significant partners have always respected and adapted to whatever is going on, as have I. And so I feel like it's a very telling characteristic when someone is rude or closed-minded about someone else's culture. I think that's like being rude to a waiter. Someone that's nice to you but is rude to a waiter is a rude person. So someone that is sweet and nice but goes to another country and frowns on it or scrunches their nose or turns up their face, that's not a nice person. Does that make sense? Clearly, I'm reading way too much into reality TV, which I am well aware that is fake. But I was like, man, I wonder if anyone else agrees with me that watches that show. You guys, it is literally garbage television, but it also helps me scratch my itch of being critical and judgmental because that's what it's there for. And so it's like, do they really like each other? Do other apartments in the world actually look like that, or are they doing this on purpose? I think they put these couples in precarious situations intentionally just to see how they'll react, and I don't think that's fair. But it does make for good, high-quality entertainment. All right, you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I know it was all over the place, but isn't that the point of a Get Ready With Me? You put me on in the background, you get ready too. It takes you just as long to get ready because we're slow and we get distracted and super squirrely. And that's it, and that's what you do. It's kind of like when you and your girlfriends were in college and then you'd come over and you'd pre-game, but you really weren't pre-gaming because it took you forever to do your lashes, and then before you knew it, you were already running late, your hair was still wet, and you still hadn't opened that Boonies cocktail. Did you guys ever drink Boone's wine coolers? That was the spot. My favorite was Fuzzy Navel. I still miss it. I haven't seen it in a very long time, and it still brings back really good memories of high quality adult beverages. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I will list and link all these products in the description box below, along with my amazing, glorious Hanes t-shirt. I know I keep talking about it, and it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm actually being honest because I wear it as clothes, I wear it as pajamas, I wear it to clean the house, and I basically wear it for everything. It's one of those t-shirts that just is always cute. So there's that. All right. My mouth is just gonna get me into trouble today, so I'm gonna bow out. If you found this video entertaining, if I made you laugh, or you laughed at me, or you just thought it was cute seeing Wesley in the background, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button so you make sure you don't miss a post, because we're very unpredictable around here and you never know when I'm gonna actually post another video. Thank COVID. All right, you guys, check the description box below for any other information. But other than that, I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys.